Hello everybody and welcome back to Cask and Point. Today is the day we get to try the brand new Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Rye. Now this is the most anticipated whiskey of the year, and I think I could go ahead and say that. Many people have been saying that this is likely going to be the whiskey of the year. Many people have been saving their paychecks, have really been looking forward to this every single day, and now this week it has finally released, and I've been lucky enough to get a bottle, and we are going to find out if it is actually that good. So let's get into the details a little bit. So the MSRP on this bottle is $80. Jack Daniel's seems to be keeping these annual releases at an incredibly fair price. We've seen $80 for the last few years in a row, so I mean really just a big fan of that, especially when all of them are really claiming at least double that on secondary, and obviously the more popular ones like the Coy Hill of 2021 and the Coy Hill of 2024 are going for far more than $80. That 2024 is about $400 right now, and of course the legendary greatest Jack Daniel's of all time 2021 is going for about $800 at the cheapest these days. So the fact that they're keeping this at $80 when they know they could have easily sold this at $250, definitely a fan of that from Jack Daniel's. The proofs, so we're looking between 130.2 and 148.8. This is a massive range in proofs. Now for context, the 2021 Jack Daniel's, those range between 137.9 and 148.3. That being said, we only saw 3 of them that were above 145. So there was one 146, one 147, and one 148. And good luck finding those barrels. There's only about 300 bottles in total that exist from those 3 barrels, and they're going for at least $2,000 on the secondary market if you could ever even find them these days. So while the highest proof is 148.8 here, it's still unclear how many we're actually going to get in that range, or if we're going to be seeing a lot more in that middle range. So far we've seen a lot of these 136s, 7s. There were a few that were released at the gift shop that were 141.9 and 142.0. So we'll see, but it's still unclear if that proof is actually going to make much of a difference. Today we have a 136.5. I imagine this is probably closer to what a lot of people are going to be able to get their hands on if they're lucky enough to get one in the first place. So I thought this would be a fun review to do, and we are comparing it against, of course, the 2020. This is another Jack Daniel's special release. This was actually their first ever real annual release. They had some cool like heritage releases before that, but this is really the first time they put like the annual special release on the bottle and everything, and it's a gorgeous bottle, and many people think that this is the greatest Jack Daniel's rye of all time, so it's a pretty good competition for Tanyard Hill. But so we're looking at $80 from MSRP. We're looking at the proofs between 130.2 and 148.8, and we're looking at a nationally distributed single barrel product, so everything is going to taste a little bit different, and these are all from Tanyard Hill. Now Tanyard Hill is warehouses 1-1 to 1-4. This is all from the top floors from 1-1, so the very first warehouse. This bottle is actually 102, so it's also a Tanyard Hill, and actually the OG Tanyard Hill rye, as some people are already calling it. So anyways, that's enough talking about this release. This is very exciting. The secondary right now is about $600, but it might be $400 by next week, so hold your money for now, but let's find out if it's good. Okay, so we're going to warm up here with some 2020 here. This is probably the best rye of all time. I think it's probably the best rye of all time. And on the nose here, you get pure banana candy on this. A nice, rich oakiness to it. That charcoal kind of barrel char that I get off of a lot of Jack Daniel's. And just sweet rye candy. So to me, rye candy is usually a mixture of like coconut, seagrass, and sugarcane sweetness. And kind of blend that together, you get that rye candy note to it. And I mean, this is rye candy, banana, charcoal, just such an incredibly well-balanced and interesting and complex pour. Let's take a sip. Oh, it's a great bottle of whiskey. Oh, that's so good. Those bottles go on secondary for somewhere between $300 and $375 depending on the proof. And honestly, I don't like to say that they're worth it, so I'm not going to say that they're worth it, but they're really good. If they were like $200, I could imagine owning a lot of them. It's just such a delicious pour. This is a 130.2 proof. Now these ranged, at the lowest they were about 126, and then the highest was 135.6. So we're looking at some overlap here between these two, so there will be likely some in the low 130s here and the low 130s here that maybe people will find two of the exact same proof. I'm sure that'll happen a couple times, and that'll be really cool. But yeah, this is 130.2, so really right in that middle ground here. I mean, you see a lot of 132s and 3s and 128s from this stuff, so really hugging 130 here. And I suspect this one is going to probably hug around 135, so probably on average a little bit higher in proof. Obviously, we saw no hazmats here. We will see some hazmats here, so anyways, yeah, this is absolutely delicious. A great warm-up pour. Let's take a second sip here. So much flavor. Such an interesting, complex pour. Really get a nice banana on that. As that opened up, I just get more and more banana and that barrel char on it. But with that sweet rye candy, it's just a combination that I don't really get on anything else other than Jack Daniels. I know I'm drinking Jack Daniels, and I know I'm drinking a great rye. Love that bottle. Let's move on to the Tanyard Hill rye. I will say, it looks darker. Now, we don't have an age statement on the 2020, but on this we do. We have a barrel date and a bottle date, so we could just do the math, and this is about 9 years and 10 months. So that's how much mine is. I'm not sure if others are a little bit older than that or younger than that. What I've been seeing from the few that I've asked about, it seems like they're all right around that 9 years and 10 month point. So probably older than this one, just based off of the color, based off the proof, based off those kinds of things. On the nose. It's interesting. I will say, and so this has been sitting here for about 20, 25 minutes. I really want to give it some time to open up. On the nose here, I'm immediately hit with that kind of banana, the sweet rye candy and all that. On this one, it's actually a deeper, richer, more akin to actually the Koi Hill from 2021. A really rich oakiness in it. Now, as I really get into it, I am getting a little bit of the herbal kind of notes on it that I would get off of a rye. A little bit of rye candy, but it's not nearly as sweet as I was expecting. Yeah, you know what? On the nose, it's really rich, but it's actually surprisingly bourbony. It's actually not super rye forward. And as I really sit with it, I can pull out some of those herbal notes on it, and I can pull out a little bit of the rye candy, but it's just not as much as this one. It's really rich and dense. Like I'm getting an oakiness that's really akin to the 2021 and somewhat the 2024 Koi Hill. And also, if this video gets 100 likes, we are going to do a Jack Daniels blind with everything. We're going to do the 2020 rye. We're going to do the 2021 hazmat. We're going to do the 2023 rye, the 2024 Koi Hill that's not hazmat. We're going to do the 2025 Tanyard Hill, and we might even find some other Jack Daniels and throw them in there. Might even throw in a dusty Jack Daniels in there. We're going to have a bunch of fun with that. 100 likes, we're going to do that. So, like this video if you haven't already. Let's take a sip of some good old Tanyard Hill rye. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I am met with an oak richness that's really akin to that hazmat Koi Hill from 2021. And I think that's what they were going for here. I mean, this was clearly meant to be Koi Hill Part 3, because 2024 was already Koi Hill Part 2. And I mean, if you look at the bottles, so I have a 2021 here, I have a 2024 here, and if you look at it, I mean, and this is actually 134.7 proof, so we're actually looking at pretty similar proofs here, but I mean, the bottles look so similar here, and putting them up against that 2025 here, I mean, really, we are looking at some very, very similar looking bottles. So, Koi Hill Part 1, 2, and 3 is really what I think we're looking at here. And we're going to blind those next week. If you guys get the video to enough likes, that will be fun here. Put these back. But I'm really getting an oak richness here that's really akin to that 2021. Let's take a second sip. Okay, on further sips, you start really getting into almost like a sharp, really sweet rye candy. On this, I am getting an extreme amount of that coconut, sugarcane, seagrass sweetness on it. I'm definitely getting a little bit of banana, a little bit of that charcoal, really rich oak, and really, really almost sharp, flashy rye on it. Like, it's not a relaxing, sit back kind of rye. I think this 2020 in some ways is like that, where I think you could honestly kill a bottle in a day, where like it's really, you know, it's so crushable. This Tanyard Hill, not nearly as crushable. It's actually much richer and denser. Now, is it objectively better? I think it actually is a little bit of a matter of opinion. I think most people are going to think the Tanyard Hill rye is better. I think it's just a different level of richness that you're not getting off the 2020. I will go back to the 2020 a little bit here. Then we'll give our final thoughts on the 2025. But funny, going back to it, it's super flavorful. And it's a really nice flavor profile. I said, it's that rye candy. It's the banana. It's the charcoal, barrel char, that kind of stuff on it. That's the pour. You actually don't get a ton of oak on this pour. I think on further sips, you start getting a little bit more oak. I think the oak is clearly much more present on that Tanyard Hill. I think this, to me, is like a really, really good Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. It's like that done perfectly is this 2020 rye. Really relaxing, definitely drinking under proof. This is also drinking under proof, but it's drinking closer to the 130s, I will say. I think this is definitely clearly drinking probably 5 or 10 proof higher. That's probably drinking like 110, 115. This is probably drinking like 125. Like I don't think it's drinking that light. But again, I will say, this is the neck pour. And I wanted to get this video out immediately to you guys, but I think when we revisit this next week, if we get this video to 100 likes, we'll see how much our opinion changed on it, especially in a blind. I'll say I'm blown away by that oak richness on it. I mean, I absolutely love oak. And if you love oak and you love Jack Daniel's oak and you love the 2021 Coy Hill, yeah, Jack Daniel's did good. All right, let's take this final sip here. Let's give it a rating. Really sitting with that. The oak on that one is incredibly unique. I mean, that to me, there's a certain magic that some people describe the 2021 Coy Hill as, and some people say that the 2024 just didn't have that. I think the 2025 Tanyard Hill might have that. Like, there's just a depth of that rich oakiness to it, much more akin to like a 15, 18-year whiskey. And the fact that that's only 9 years is itself absolutely ridiculous, and really goes to show that they very likely really picked out great single barrels here. They really went through not only looking at the highest floor of the warehouse, but within that probably picked out barrels that they truly thought were there in a way that I just don't think every top release is really doing these days. That is an amazing pour of whiskey. I think that is the best bottle on the market today at $80. Oh, that's really good. It's honestly neck and neck with Coy Hill 2021 for me for now. Now, we'll see how this bottle opens up. It's possible that it might mellow out, lose that oak richness that I really enjoy. But I think beyond that, I mean, you have certain spice characteristics to it, a cinnamon and nutmeg to it. You have really sharp, flashy rye candy to it. You have this orange on it. You have a nice, long, like sweet oak, almost a little bit of vanilla on that finish. I mean, it's just still going. I can still taste it. That's real sweetness and the oak on it. That is a great, great, great pour of whiskey. I do not think people are going to be disappointed. I do think that it is going to be whiskey of the year for a lot of people. It's going to be in a lot of top fives. Now, there's some tough competition. We have the Calumet 18. We have the Jack Daniel's 14 year. I think this is probably going to place above Jack Daniel's 14 year for a good number of people. And of course, the Beacon's also back there. But I think this is really going to be in that top five. I think a lot of people are going to end up putting this in top three. It is an amazing, amazing rye. You will not be disappointed. Now, what would I pay for this on the secondary market? Probably $350, $400. Now, I wouldn't pay much more than that for the actual hazmat Coy Hill from back in the day. So, just for context, I don't think that bottle's worth $800, and I do think that this one will likely have a pretty strong secondary. It's better than the 2020 rye. It is the greatest Jack Daniel's rye of all time. I think that for $350, 4 times MSRP, I think it's a buy. I think after that, there's just so much competition in the market that it's tough, but I'm gonna go ahead and rate that an 8.6. I mean, I'm really very happy with that one. I think it might be my leading contender for whiskey of the year. But again, we're gonna revisit it again next week. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun. Go out, see if you could get yourself a Tanyard Hill rye. With that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.